Please note that certain matters discussed in this video presentation contain forward-looking statements within the meaning of the Private Securities Litigation Reform Act of 1995 and other provisions of the U.S. federal securities laws. These forward-looking statements are based on management's current expectations and are not guarantees of future performance. Actual results could differ materially from those expressed in or implied by these forward-looking statements. Please see Cognyte's SEC filings for a discussion of risks and uncertainties. The financial measures discussed in this video presentation include non-GAAP measures, which investors may find useful as supplemental information. For a description of these non-GAAP financial measures, including the reasons management uses each measure and a GAAP to non-GAAP reconciliation, please see the Investor Relations tab on Cognyte's website at cognyte.com.
Think about the ever-growing tsunami of data security organizations are dealing with every minute of every day.
There are social networks, messaging apps, databases, videos, and images to process. Such a torrent of data that security organizations are drowning in it. Making sense of it all presents an enormous challenge.
Technology is advancing at an insane pace. Criminals, terrorists, hackers all over the world leverage sophisticated technologies to hide their actions.
Staying ahead of bad actors is critical and only possible when you are able to process vast amounts of data, connect the dots, and produce insights that are fast, accurate, and actionable.
This is what we have been empowering security organizations to do for more than 2 decades for over 1,000 customers around the globe.
We are passionate about security analytics, equipping our customers with the tools they need to make the world a safer place.
Thanks to TV producers, we all have a sense of what sophisticated criminal investigations look like. Teams arrive on the scene, investigators suggest theories as to what might have happened, and then shortlist suspects who had the motivation and the means to carry out the attack. They connect the dots, and more often than not, they catch the perpetrators.
Yet, even if they resolve the investigation, the damage will have already been done. Lives may have been lost. But what if the threat could have been prevented in the first place? What if security organizations were able to connect the dots and address threats faster? Maybe even before the attack had even taken place. This isn't fiction, it's security analytics.
Security analytics isn't a new concept. Connecting the dots has always been important. How many attacks could have been avoided? How many perpetrators could have been stopped in their tracks if security organizations had been able to generate the right insights at the right time?
By using predictive and other analytical capabilities, security organizations can answer critical questions such as, where can I find evidence to accelerate my investigation? Can I identify a threat before it unfolds? What is the suspect's next move?
Every security organization around the world is busy answering such questions every day, and the answers are what we call insights. An insight can be a long list of suspects analytically reduced to just a few. An insight can also be a real-time alert on suspects' activity, connecting them to a potential crime. By applying machine learning to vast amount of diversified data, our customers can produce these insights, enabling them to do the jobs better and faster.
Cognyte empowers security organizations, governments, and enterprises to effectively answer these and many other critical questions and gain an edge in maintaining law and order.
Technology has evolved in so many ways that bad actors now have almost unlimited means to communicate, plan, and carry out attacks while remaining anonymous.
But within this challenge lies a massive opportunity for security organizations. The vast amounts of data available to them is a huge asset. To stay ahead of their adversaries, they need to fuse the data, transform it into meaningful insights, and drive real-time action. This is actionable intelligence for a safer world.
Actionable intelligence for a safer world is our vision. So how does it work in practice?
Daily routines are made up of millions of tiny details. Against this complex backdrop, how do you recognize a threat?
It's impossible without the right insights. It would be like finding a needle in a haystack.
that keeps moving and which does everything in its power to avoid detection. To succeed requires the constant analysis of billions of data points to generate real-time insights.
Data is converted into actionable intelligence that enables decision makers to identify, neutralize, and prevent threats from being carried out.
In recent years, security challenges have become increasingly complex. Well-organized, well-funded entities are becoming harder to detect as they take advantage of the latest technologies to hide in the shadows.
These technologies are evolving all the time. New ones are emerging every day, and security organizations need new tools to stay ahead of the game.
Customers also realize they need a different approach, a scalable open analytics platform that keeps pace as technology and threats evolve. They need software that is always up to date, instead of customized projects that quickly become obsolete.
We at Cognyte were early in recognizing the need for change. So that's what we did, evolving into a security analytics software company. Today, our AI-driven solutions are used by the world's most demanding security organizations. They see us as a trusted partner to serve their diverse challenges.
Just a few years ago, the police districts in Norway operated very independently. When it comes to covert investigation, we used more than 26 local systems trying to analyze and resolve cases. It was very difficult to manage and to share information. We realized that we needed a centralized, robust, long-term solution. After a systematic process, reviewing top solutions in the market, we chose Cognyte. Together, we centralized our data collection, fusing information from different sources and formats, and integrated everything into a single, unified platform that all our police districts now use. We received great training by several Cognyte teams and experts. Perhaps even more important, we and Cognyte constantly bounce ideas to ensure the platform continuously improves and meet our evolving needs.
For us, that was mind-blowing. I mean, it was really seeing our platform, our analytics coming into life, and we could see the bottom line for our customers, saving lives. That simple.
This is the right time for us to take the next step. We now have the scale, with revenues of almost $500 million, to become a standalone, publicly traded company. We are a leader in a fast-changing industry with a total addressable market of $30 billion, which is growing at 10% a year.
We're launching Cognyte to take the business to the next level. The name comes from a combination of cognition and ignite. These two words represent our mission, namely enabling cognition through our advanced analytics and igniting action. We empower customers to make the world a safer place.
My name is Paz. I'm the product marketing manager in Cognyte. Our technology is really cutting edge because we look not just at the product, but also the user that's going to actually use it. And the whole process is really accompanied by the actual need and challenges of the customer.
We're dealing with an asymmetric warfare where we see tech groups targeting nations and we see nations targeting enterprises and corporates. And this is why such a technology with such analytics and such proven intelligence is important.
My name is Robert. I worked 30 years in the Dutch police. Being part of a security organization for so many years allows me to understand better what are the needs of those kind of organizations. Cognyte is selling to three main buyers: Head of Investigations, Head of Operations and Chief Information Officer. All three face the same technology challenges: managing data at scale, fusing data across different silos, and generating real-time, actionable insights.
First, there's the need to accelerate investigations, to fuse and analyze ever-increasing volumes of data siloed across organizations. By enabling customers to connect these dots, they can discover new insights that speed up their investigations and ensure they reach an actual conclusion. Second is real-time operational intelligence, providing real-time, mission-critical, actionable intelligence to field teams. And third is threat intelligence, to empower teams at security operation centers with tools to protect people and assets from security threats.
Government customers with their broad range of security challenges use the full breadth of our portfolio to accelerate investigations and identify, neutralize, and prevent threats to national security and business continuity. They also deal with a growing number of cyber attacks. We often work with multiple organizations within each country, enabling us to serve more than 400 government customers worldwide.
The head of investigations at the European National Security Organization had a problem. Investigations were taking too long, eating up way more time than they used to. In many cases, they took months to conclude. Sometimes they took years, and even then failed to reach a conclusion or provide actionable outcomes. They decided that it's time to go for a different approach. Their main problem was their technology was outdated. The tools the investigative teams were using were no longer fit for purpose.
They could only fuse limited data sources. Adding new ones could take months. To make matters worse, they were limited in their ability to process and analyze unstructured data, such as text, images, and video. In many cases, opportunities to identify threats ahead of time and prevent attacks were missed.
A new approach was needed. One that required software that would help his team analyze their data at scale and quickly extract actionable insights. He had two choices: build in-house capabilities or partner with a security analytics software vendor with an open platform and a proven track record.
This is when we entered the picture. We helped the customer to deploy the technology and train their analytics team so they would be self-sufficient and able to address the increasingly complex threats that they now faced. After the Cognyte platform was deployed, their investigation team received a lead that a radical group was planning to drive a large vehicle into a crowd of people in one of its main cities. But they had no intel on who the perpetrator or perpetrators might be. Using the Cognyte platform, they had already identified activity on social media and on the dark web that pointed to a similar potential threat and people who might be involved. Our platform fused and analyzed massive volumes of data sources, including web and social data, as well as government databases such as vehicle registry and criminal records. The analytical model dynamically mapped potential suspects based on behavioral analytics and anomaly detection. Things like history of radicalization, travel to certain countries, and reports on vehicle thefts.
Once a list of potential suspects had been identified, the platform automatically ran a link analysis that revealed 5 of the 7 suspects were connected.
This suggests they were working as a part of an organization group to carry out the attack. Using our platform, the investigative team was now able to gather the evidence they needed to arrest the suspects and prevent the attack.
This is just one example of how the Cognyte software platform uses AI to empower security organizations to prevent national security attacks and, most importantly, to save lives. My name is Ifat, and I'm the product marketing manager for the Cognyte analytics platform. My position involves explaining our product to customers and hearing back from them what their requirements are. I'm really proud of the fact that we help organizations around the world keep people safe, and it's what makes us work hard every day to keep innovating and keep pushing our product forward and making sure we're supporting our customers.
If you mention Cognyte in Spain, you immediately think of actionable intelligence. After 25 years of successful, strong, and reliable partnership, we have evolved together, bringing technology value and security analytics to our different customers. Spanish government security organizations in particular are benefiting from Cognyte's broad analytics portfolio, which caters to multiple security challenges. This has been further enhanced by Cognyte's software development, which has created a unique technology that is much appreciated by our customers.
When it comes to security, the stakes have never been higher. Enterprises risk intellectual property theft that can decimate their business or hacking that could shred their reputation. Against this backdrop, we see strong demand for our security analytics software.
Enterprises are mainly focused on preventing cyber attacks and maintaining business continuity.
They want faster threat detection and mitigation and improved efficiency and effectiveness of their security operations centers. We actually have more than 600 enterprise customers globally.
In the fiscal year ending January 31st, 2020, Cognyte's non-GAAP revenues were $463 million, 80% of which came from government security organizations. While enterprise security represents only 20% of revenues, we see a good opportunity for growth in this segment over time.
One of our enterprise customers is a large manufacturer with tens of thousands of employees spread across dozens of offices and factories around the world. As you can imagine, securing this kind of enterprise in its entirety is a huge and incredibly complex task. Each location needs to protect its intellectual property, assets, and employees. Each has highly valuable IP, expensive equipment, and a large, ever-changing contingent of employees, suppliers, and customers entering and leaving the enterprise's various facilities all the time.
In such a large organization, imagine how difficult it must be to keep on top of who's where and ensure that only authorized personnel gain access to restricted areas. Of course, this is just one element of the challenges enterprises face. Cyber threats can be even more damaging, but whether the breach is physical or digital, organizations understand that a single threat can be enough to inflict irreparable damage.
In the case of our global customer, they had experienced a series of breaches that had led them to conclude that the old, disjointed way of doing security was no longer fit for purpose. Their intellectual property, their assets, and their employees were at risk. Something had to be done.
As a first step, the company's CIO and head of operations understood that they needed to improve their security operations center's approach. They needed to shift from standard video and security camera monitoring to a more modern, more integrated and analytics-driven approach. To do so would require the client to manage huge amounts of data from various sources, including threat intelligence, sensors, and controls.
They would have to analyze it in real time and then develop insights that could be acted upon quickly to identify threats and successfully mitigate them. That's when Cognyte came into play.
We began by presenting an initial proof of concept. This helped the customer see that the Cognyte analytics platform would integrate seamlessly with their ecosystem, that it would fuse data from multiple sources across the company's highly distributed operations, analyze it, and generate new, advanced, and actionable insights about threats they were previously unaware of.
It wasn't long before Cognyte had a chance to prove its worth. The platform identified that an employee's credentials had been exposed and sold on the dark web. Cognyte's platform ingested the data and triggered a threat intelligence investigation. A few days later, a car entered the company's facility using an employee ID badge. The Cognyte platform recognized in real time the ID badge belonged to the employee whose details had been exposed on the dark web. It also spotted a mismatch between the car license plate and the one associated with the employee. Using facial recognition, it flagged the driver was not the employee.
The platform connected relevant data points and provided insights and alerts to the SOC operators to stop the threat in its tracks, prevented significant damage, and provided evidence to support prosecution. Thanks to Cognyte, the company can now identify incidents before they unfold and avoid costly disruption of operations, harm to individuals, and potential legal and regulatory issues.
My name's Alon. I've been in the company for 8 years, and I'm a director of product marketing. The impact our solutions have on customers is tremendous. I heard from several customers that the new tools that we provided them enabled them to deal with new, challenging, and evolving threats that they weren't able to handle before.
The most fascinating thing is understanding what goes under the hood of our platform. Cognyte Analytics platform works seamlessly with customers' workflows. It easily integrates with their existing systems and fuses data from their databases and other sources. Our platform is designed with several components at its core. Advanced data fusion technologies that aggregate and enrich structured data, such as travel history records, and unstructured data, such as images, video, and social media, from different sources. Data analytics, including real-time modeling and statistical tools to help analysts support investigations. AI and machine learning models to find hidden patterns in massive amount of data. Intuitive workflows and visualization, for example, using a drag-and-drop interface, which can be configured by the customer to meet their specific use cases.
Our platform delivers advanced analytical techniques. The first step is classification, labeling and transforming raw and technical information into meaningful data. For example, translating an IP address to a physical location. Next comes prediction.
Prediction entails the machine's artificial intelligence discovering frequent patterns to predict the probability of an event. Take the behavior of known cyber attackers. By analyzing their activity patterns, the platform can predict potential attack vectors before they unfold.
Of course, many patterns are harmless, part of the noise of everyday life. Sometimes, though, there are outliers in the data, anomalies that don't normally happen. For example, people who suddenly change their location, time of travel, financial transaction methods, and ways of communicating. Such an anomaly might indicate a possible threat. Some threats are by lone wolves, but some are by organized groups. That's why the ability to identify relationships, connections between different bits of data, can be crucial.
Security investigation teams need to know who's connected to whom. By analyzing relationships, our platform produces insights to predict events and when and where they might take place.
For example, if someone happens to live in the same building as a criminal, the relationship would be weak. But if we see multiple communications between them over social networks, this would broaden the circle to identify new suspects.
In the security analytics domain, real-time insights are critical. For example, in enabling the discovery of identity theft in real time on the darknet, and informing investigative teams or identifying cyber attackers' movements inside the network, and immediately alerting Security Operations Center teams to mitigate the threat.
Over the past few years, security organizations have increasingly understood that homegrown solutions can no longer keep up with the evolving technologies. They are unscalable and difficult to maintain. They also lack the deep domain expertise that can only be achieved after being applied to multiple use cases.
Customers' requirements are evolving. They expect faster delivery times, higher quality products, and easier update cycles. To that end, Cognyte has more than 2,000 people, including developers, data scientists, and product experts with substantial security experience that are laser-focused on security analytics software. We have built a scalable, always up-to-date software platform that can provide real-time, actionable insights to help solve security challenges. That's why we win.
Leading government and enterprise security organizations around the world partner with Cognyte to address complex security challenges. These organizations rely on our security analytics software every day to generate critical, actionable intelligence. Without it, they would be flying blind and more vulnerable to potential threats. Threats are evolving rapidly, and our customers view us as an important strategic partner who can help address the challenges of today and tomorrow. That's why we enjoy a very high rate of repeat business and why over 90% of our annual revenues come from existing customers. We also win multiple new customers every year based on our strong competitive differentiation. Our total addressable market of around $30 billion is fragmented. We compete with big data analytics companies and point solution security vendors. However, our biggest opportunity is in replacing homegrown solutions with our open analytics platform and deep domain expertise. Let me share some examples of what we hear from customers. We need better analytics. It's getting harder to find the needles in the haystacks. We need open solutions, software that can be easily refreshed and keep pace with the growing complexity. Our growth strategy, which is based on 2 pillars, stems from conversations with our customers and our ability to address the current and future needs of our existing customers as well as new ones. First, our technology and domain expertise are unparalleled. We are committed to staying ahead of the demand curve with our open analytics platform. We have nearly 1,000 people in R&D, primarily based in Israel, focused on developing the world's most sophisticated security analytics software. Second, as the market recognized that homegrown customized projects could not keep pace with the evolving threats, they have increasingly sought open security platforms. We identified this market need early and are leading with our open platform that provides many benefits to our customers, including faster innovation and more frequent updates with the latest analytics and artificial intelligence technologies. We believe our open platform will enable us to go even deeper and wider with our customers and accelerate adoption of our portfolio over time. We also believe that our open software model will enable us to more easily expand our partners' ecosystem and grow our presence in the enterprise market over time. Looking ahead, we are excited about our future as an independent public company and expect this strategy to drive faster revenue growth with continued margin expansion.
Our long history of profitable growth has been driven by our deep domain expertise and cutting-edge innovation. More recently, strong execution of our open platform has led to a significant increase in our margins and sets us up for faster revenue growth going forward.
You can see the positive impact the shift to an open software model has had on our financials over the last 3 years. We have delivered consistent revenue growth while our non-GAAP gross profit has increased at a 13% CAGR. A steady improvement in our software and services mix has driven a steady increase in our gross margins every year. A combination of revenue growth and expanding margins has driven a 26% CAGR in our adjusted EBITDA and strong cash from operations. The positive margin trend has continued into the current year. We are very pleased with our results in this unusual year in which we experienced strong sequential revenue growth after the initial impact from COVID and entered Q4 with improved visibility. We continue to execute well on our software model, and our non-GAAP gross margins are expected to reach a record 70%. This represents an approximately 800 basis points increase compared with just 2 years ago and a significant milestone for Cognyte. For the full year, we expect non-GAAP revenue of $445 million and $90 million of adjusted EBITDA, a year-over-year increase of close to 10%. Our improved visibility comes from 3 primary sources. First, the amount of revenue we generate from recurring sources has steadily increased to about 50% this year. Second, because of our strong relationships and trust we build with our customers, 90% of our annual revenue is recurring, generated from repeat customers. And third, we have a large amount of remaining performance obligations of more than $500 million, more than our annual revenue, which provides strong visibility.
Looking ahead, we are well positioned with an attractive financial model and positive outlook. For the next fiscal year, the year ending January 31st, 2022, we expect 10% non-GAAP revenue growth and 12% non-GAAP gross profit growth as we continue to expand gross margin driven by our open software model. We expect adjusted EBITDA to increase 14% on a normalized basis. To normalize, we adjust our current year EBITDA by the $15 million separation dyssynergies that we expect next year. These synergies primarily relate to establishing a public company infrastructure with a standalone IT, finance, legal, and other public company and compliance function. For modeling purposes, we can assume net interest and other expenses of $500,000, depreciation and amortization of $16 million, a cash tax rate of approximately 8.5%, a non-controlling interest in a joint venture of around $7 million, and approximately 69.5 million fully diluted shares. This should drive EPS of around 80 cents for Cognyte on a standalone basis in FY22. As for our 3-year plan, we are targeting non-GAAP revenue growth of 10% next year and gradually increasing over the next 2 years to the low to mid-teens in FY24 as there is greater adoption of our open software platform. With respect to margins, after a one-time step down next year due to separation dyssynergies, we are targeting mid-teen EBITDA growth in FY23 and 20% growth in FY24. Turning to the spin-off, We are starting with a strong balance sheet and expect to generate strong cash from operations. We are headquartered in Israel and will be a 20F filer listed on the Nasdaq stock exchange under the symbol CGNT. In summary, Cognyte is a category leader with differentiated cutting-edge technology, strong customer relationships, a large and growing TAM, a very attractive financial model with multiple growth vectors, and a strong management team.
I'm very excited about the next chapter in Cognyte's growth. The Variant Board of Directors believe that the separation will unlock the potential of both businesses. I spent more than 25 years growing the Cognyte business, and I'm happy to continue the journey and will serve as chairman of the board. Regarding the Cognyte board, we plan for a 7-seat board with 3 directors coming from Variant, including myself, 3 new directors, and the CEO. I'm very proud of our employees and their hard work and dedication. Together, we've built a category leader and a strong foundation for continued success and growth.
When I started working here, I was a young support engineer. Over the years, we've grown from what was a small company with revenues in the tens of millions to a leading global player with a presence in more than 100 countries and revenues of almost $500 million. We have a diverse and talented team of 2,000 men and women who embody our mission to help security organizations make the world a safer place.
This is a very exciting time for us in the company. We're going through a big change. I think it's going to open us up to even bigger and better things.
From the moment you walk into one of our centers around the globe, you can feel the energy, the passion, the innovation and creativity.
It's a family company, it's a growth company. We really add to security. That makes me proud of this company and proud of what I'm doing.
When you have a solution that's both cutting edge but also really appeal to the customers, that's just amazing.
And we're also big technology geeks, so we really enjoy working with cutting edge technologies.
Waking up every day to know I will go to the office and help make this world a safer place to live in makes the life in this organization extremely exciting.
I think what makes me proud being part of Cognyte is the fact that you have an amazing triangle. You have purpose, you have technology, and you have people. And all of that together is what is making Cognyte so special and unique in our industry.
I know the future is bright for Cognyte. Demand for our software is growing fast. We have incredible technology, industry-leading security analytics software, strong relationships with our customers, and a management team that has shown it can deliver. We're uniquely positioned for continuous growth and market leadership. It's been quite a ride up to this point, growing with Variant, and now the spin-off, a new and very exciting chapter in our story as Cognyte.